guys, welcome back to another Caramel Curls 15 video, and today I am filming part 1 of my makeup collection. So this will be a series of videos because it would just probably be too long to incorporate my entire collection into one video. So I am going to break it up into parts. So I'm not sure exactly how many parts. However, I will make sure I cover my entire collection and briefly speak on a few items, but I'm going to show you foundations, most of my eyeshadow palettes today. I'm going to show you all the eyeshadow palettes today. That will be in another part, but I will show you most of my eyeshadow palette collection today. I do have the pack system to organize my makeup in. I will link that below. I did get it from IKEA. I also have the measurements to the particular one that I have, so I'll leave that in the description box, and I'll try to link any important items discussed as well in the description box that may be resourceful to you if you're trying to organize your collection or just you're starting out a makeup collection or any kind of collection. So if you're new here, before I get started, thank you for watching today's video. I am a makeup content creator. I film makeup reviews as well as do get ready with me's, as well as a lot of hauls and anything beauty related, including self-care items, hygiene, skincare, all of that good stuff. And I hope that you like this video, and please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you're a continuous supporter of mine, thank you so much for always supporting my channel and watching my videos and commenting. I greatly appreciate it. I do want to give a brief disclaimer before we start this video. All products purchased have been purchased with my own money. Not one product, not one item in this entire collection was given to me as PR, gifted to me in exchange for a review, sent to me. None of that. 100% of this collection was purchased with my own money. So with that being said, let's be respectful in the comments. I do understand that I have more makeup than anyone can ever ask for. However, what I choose to do with my money is my business. So thank you so much again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will be trying to create a playlist. I'm going to try to create a playlist that's separate from the playlist that I watch personally, so that you all can watch all the parts of the makeup collection video together if you want to wait till I'm done before you watch all of the parts. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start out with foundations. Also, guys, at the end of this makeup collection series, I will also be filming a room tour, and that will include my vanity as well. So stay tuned for that also. Let's get started with foundations. So these are most of my foundations. I do have a few foundations separated over at my everyday makeup vanity that I use, because I recycle through my foundations every month just to make sure I'm giving them all some love. So let's go ahead and get started. This is my high-end side of my foundations. I have Urban Decay Naked Skin. I have the Too Faced Peach Perfect foundations. These are like, most of these foundations, 99.9% of them are like my absolute ride or die, tried and true foundations. I have the Becca foundation, which is one of my favorites, the Ultimate Coverage. And I'm so upset that Becca went out of business. I'm so upset that Becca went out of business because of the foundations that I love from them. They had some of the best foundations for oily skin. My Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Foundation here. I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Liquid, the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Even though it says luminous, it did work great for my skin. I just had to use a great matte setting powder. I have the KVD Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. This is one of the first truly full coverage foundations I ever tried, and this is true. This is the old formula though. This is true full coverage. I'm not sure if that new formula is the same. They do currently have it at Ulta on sale. It's like 50% off, so I'm not sure, but I thought about picking it up just to see, but I have so many I'm trying to get through. I just didn't want to, waste trying it just yet. And you don't really hear a lot about KVD, and you heard a lot about the controversy, but you don't hear a lot about their products anymore. But continuing on, this is the NARS Soft Matte foundation, and I am in the shade Medium Deep. Cadiz Medium Deep 2. On, I have my Gucci foundation here. I have Dior, Forever Dior foundation. I have Makeup Forever. Like, all of these are my favorite foundations. Huda Beauty, NARS, Rare Beauty, Too Faced. These are like my favorite foundations. This last row here is the KVD I'm currently trying to finish. Some NARS foundation, some Shiseido. That it's hard to find your match for me in the Shiseido, but I work with it. NARS Becca, y'all remember this? This is an oldie but a goodie foundation. This is, if you've been doing makeup a while or been experimenting with makeup a while, you remember this Becca Ultimate. I believe this is the Ultimate Coverage, Even Matte Shine Proof foundation. You remember that. You remember this one. Then I have Makeup Forever. And I tried to label, which I need to get back into doing. I tried to label like my summer shades, my all year shades that I can use. I'm trying to get back at doing that. And then I have Clinique Pat McGrath foundation. I really like. It's expensive, but I really like it. NARS Natural Radiant, and my new love, the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation, which I thought was going to be too oily for my skin, but it is perfect. I love that foundation. Then on this side are my foundations. I have some Maybelline Superstay, some L'Oreal, Ulta, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, which is one of my favorite for the drugstore for full coverage. Fiona Styles foundation, which I think they're out of business. I don't think they make Fiona Styles anymore. I have the new shade I just purchased in the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Radiant. I'm sorry, not Radiant. The Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint in the shade 15. We have the Maybelline Superstay Stick Foundation, which I love. Almay. I love that foundation. It's full coverage. Some Revolution Conceal and Define, which I love that too. Revlon Color Stay is one of my favorite. I already have one that I have open. It's over at my daily vanity that I use quite often. I have the Revlon. This is a good one too. This Revlon Photo Ready Candid Foundation. This is one of my favorite ones. And this one, this Revlon Cover Stay, is good. Elf. L'Oreal True Match. This is a new one that I hauled earlier in the year that I really like. This is the Kiko Nothing Matter Mattifying Foundation. Love it. The Sephora Stick Foundation, which I love. LA Girl is really good and inexpensive. Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. Like, these are some of my ride or die. And then I just have some overflow foundations that I didn't want to sit in the trays just right over here. But I have some Juvia's Place, some more e.l.f. I have some drugstore setting sprays back there. And then I have some cream foundations that you can see. A lot of these I got on clearance. Look, I paid $3.98 for this one. This is really good too. And I sculpt my brows with that. And then this is one of my favorite mousse foundations. This is a great dupe for the KVD foundation that comes in the compact. I don't have it over here. I have it over there on my vanity because I use it sometimes. I'm in a hurry to film or go somewhere. I use it. But this came out first. This is one of the very first foundations I tried when I started wearing makeup, and I love it. You guys remember this one? This is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I still love this palette. You guys remember when this first came out? It was like everything. Y'all remember that? Back here I have Milani palette. Even though this particular drawer is only for my high-end palettes, like any palettes you can't get at the drugstore is what this drawer is supposed to be for. But I do have some of my favorites back here. I have this Tarte palette from last season. You guys remember this one? Full Bloom. I love the Full Bloom palette. Still one of my best neutral palettes with some shimmers in here. Love it. Love the formula of that. So, and I already decluttered some palettes as well and listed them on my Poshmark. I'll leave my Poshmark listed down below. But we got some other palettes here. Let's just go row by row. These are most of my Natasha Denona. I have a few over on my vanity because I'm using them. So here's my Natasha Denona. This is the Glam Face palette. And this is the light version. I'm thinking about getting the dark one. This is the Natasha Denona Retro palette, which I don't believe I've used yet. This is the Natasha Denona, sorry it's reflecting, Glam palette. This is the Natasha Denona bronze palette. All of her small palettes I have, y'all. I have, and I love them. I love them. This is the Zendo palette by Natasha Denona. The Love palette, which is good for Christmas, Valentine's Day, Sweeties Day. The Natasha Denona Tropic palette. Huda Beauty Nude palette. Most of her palettes I did not pay full price for. The Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde I have. The Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. The Huda Beauty Naughty. And the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette remastered. So, and you guys know I have the new Huda Beauty Empower palette, which I have been using a ton. Then I have some more Natasha Denona. This is the Circle palette. Let me step down here. This is the Circle palette. This is the Safari palette. The Biba palette, which I love. And then some fun palettes too. I'll get to those. But then I also have this Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette. And then I have most of the ABH Norvina palettes. The only one I don't have is the most recent volume, which I think is volume 6. But I have the Norvina palette 1, which has the purple case. Volume 2, which has this like teal case. Volume 3, which is like the orange theme one. Volume 4. And Volume 5. And these little acrylic containers that I have to keep the palettes in, these right here I got from Amazon. So I'll leave those links down below. I purchased those a couple months ago. I have the Urban Decay Electric Press Pigment palette. The Urban Decay After Dark palette, which I've never used. The ABH Subculture, which I love. I don't know how I got 2. Because I have one over here. I can't remember how I got 2. I think someone had gifted it to me. Or something like that, but I like this palette, so I may just sell that one. So if you, I probably put this one on my Poshmark because I don't need to. One is fine, so I'll probably sell that one. I noticed I had another one. I think these were gifted to me. So we'll pull this out. I'll put that on Poshmark. I have the Dose of Colors, which I love this packaging. That's why I keep this one too, but it's a nice palette. This is a Dose of Colors palette that I have. Let's see what this one is. This is the Desi and Katie Friendcation palette. Love this palette. Even if I didn't like it, I would keep it for the packaging. Even if I was ready to get rid of it, I would keep it for the packaging. Back here I have the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette, which I like. The Cinnamon Swirl, the Tarte Clay Play palette, which is a good neutral everyday palette, which I need to get more use out of because I am like a neutral girl, but I'm branching off into a little color. Up here in the front, I have the Too Faced Marielle palette. I love this palette. I bought it last holiday season. Love it. Such a beautiful palette. I have the Jackie Aina palette, which I pulled out the other day, and I think I am going to use because I think I've only used this once. No, I don't think I used this. I think I only used it once. I do remember using it at least one time. But look at that. So I'm going to pull this palette out in my next shop, my stash, and get some more use out of that. I love this palette too by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Alyssa Edwards palette. I got this from TJ Maxx for like $12 or something like that. The Jackie Aina palette is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have some more Too Faced palettes here. This is the Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette. I have the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette, which I love. I have the Patrick Ta palette. This is the first one, I believe. Yep, this is the first one. I have the second one as well, but it's in another drawer that you'll see in another video. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amarizi palette. The Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. Naked 3, which I won't get rid of. I know this one is probably expired. This is the first palette my husband bought me, so I won't be getting rid of that. So this is Urban Decay Naked 3. I have the Naked Cherry. I have the Naked Heat. I love all the Naked palettes I have in here are my favorite. I have the Urban Decay Wild West palette, which I love. And just thinking about it, I probably need to put like all my Too Faced in one. And I thought that's how I had it, but somehow I got to reorganizing again and screw that up a little bit. So let's keep going down. Here I have my Pat McGrath palette. Pat McGrath palettes. This is one that I have. Here's another. There's the third one. I don't remember which one they are. I'll leave them in the description box. But I got these during that. Someone said it was a glitch on her website, and I got them for like $150 for 3. It was some glitch last year or earlier this year, and that's when I got them. I have 2 more Pat McGrath palettes. I got these on clearance from Sephora for like $13 a piece, and then they came back regular price. But these are the Pat McGrath Metamorphosis palettes. This is the Pat McGrath Metamorphosis palette. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition palette. And this is, yeah, Metamorphosis palette. I don't know, y'all, but I got them on clearance. That's the only reason why I bought them. These are the first palettes I tried from, I don't know, y'all. I got these on clearance from Sephora like 2 years ago when these palettes, maybe even longer than that even, when they went on clearance at Sephora. I seen them in the window. This is when they didn't have it like at the location where I shop, like an exact location of where they kept their clearance. So it was against the window when I seen clearance and sale signs. So I got these two because they was $13, and this is when the time they came out. Also with that $100 reward, you can redeem 2,500 points for that $100 reward. This is when they came out with that. Here's the other one. Sorry, I didn't feel like moving my tripod. I have everything set up to film my next video, and this is just a little convenient. So I apologize for my unsteady hand, and the camera may be moving a bit. But here's the other one. I really like this one. But for 13 bucks, I guess I can't complain about it too much, because there's drugstore palettes that's the same price that don't even perform that great. So these are all the palettes I have for Pat McGrath. And then I have, well, you guys know I have that new one, but probably won't be buying anymore. I don't really particularly like her formula. It's not that great to me. But here's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette, one of my first palettes from her. Here's the Sultry by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love the packaging. You guys will see a little something I did special with her packaging when you see the room tour. But here's how it looks. Still on Anastasia Beverly Hills, Norvina. Soft Glam, as you guys know, is one of my favorites. Modern Renaissance, one of my favorites. Subculture, which I just showed you. And then Lorac. I don't hear many people talk about Lorac anymore, but Lorac, when I was coming up in makeup and just getting into makeup, was my jam. Here's one of their neutral palettes. This is the Lorac Pro eyeshadow palette, and I love it. I still use it to this day. Here's another Lorac Pro palette, and this one is this is the Pro 2. So this one is the Pro 2, which I really, really like still. And then we have another Lorac Pro. This is, I can't remember which one it is. I know they had like 1, 2, and 3. I have the larger ones as well. You'll see those in another video. But this is a more neutral one. It has mattes. This is when they first came out with like matte shimmers. So here's that one. This is an old school palette, y'all. This is Kat Von D, not KVD, Serpentina palette. Never used it. Never used it, but it is gorgeous. And it has a loose pigment there. So that's that palette. Back here I have Lime Crime, the Venus XL palette. Back there, Lime Crime, Venus XL palette. I have the two Lorac Pro palettes over here. I have the two Lorac Pro palettes over here, Mega Pro 3 and Mega Pro 4. I also have Violet Voss Pro palette back here. I have the Urban Decay Naked on the Run palette. I have the Balm palettes. This one is Nude Tude and Nude Dude. I have the KVD Vegan Beauty palette. This one is called Edge of Beauty. I'm sorry, this one is called Edge of Reality eyeshadow palette. So I have the KVD Edge of Reality palette. Sorry, it's going to get washed out a little bit because of the camera. But this palette I got on clearance from Ulta earlier this year, end of last year. So I haven't played with it much. I think I used it once. Then I have the Too Faced chocolate palette, which I need to get rid of because it's the second chocolate palette, not the thick one, the thinner one. But I've had it for so long. But it's an oldie but a goodie. Still love this palette. And that's just a case. Back here is just a case of the Natasha Denona Love palette. I've never used it, so I just took it out the case, but I keep the cases so if I ever decide to sell them, I can provide the person who purchases them the original packaging. Then I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist palette. Anastasia Beverly Hills Tomena palette. Anastasia Beverly Hills Master Palette by Mario. Love this palette. Like one of my very first high-end palettes. This palette was like $80 when I first bought it. This is the Vizart 04 Dark Matte palette. But great shades. Love it. Then up here in the front, I have the Tartelette Toasted palette. I love these packagings. They just came out with a new Tartelette palette as well. This is the Tartelette Juicy palette. At least I think it was. Maybe it was called Juicy. I don't know, y'all. I seen it on Ulta a couple weeks ago. And then back here, or over here, I have some Natasha Denona mini palettes. This is the Natasha Denona palette number 13. This is the Natasha Denona Holiday palette, mini palette. The mini Zendo palette, never used it. The Natasha Denona mini Metropolis palette, which I use these for travel. And sometimes I keep them in my makeup bag for work if I want to touch up my eyes or redo my eyes, or if I'm planning to do something out of work or, you know, outside or after work and I need to like glam up my look. I can do that really quick with those, and I use like the little mini travel brushes. But this is my eyeshadow palette collection that is in my pack system drawers. I want to thank you guys for watching part 1 of my makeup collection series. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see all you caramel beauties in the next Caramel Curls 15 video. Bye.